Let's talk about the American League MVP because people are getting so fired up and spicy about this online, and it's hilarious to me. So let's break it down. Let's break it down. It just comes down to how you view the award. It's not personal. It's just how you view the award. If you are somebody that loves the narrative and the story, and like this season will be remembered historically. This is one of the arguably the greatest season by a catcher ever, the greatest season by a switch hitter ever. It's going to be remembered. I get it. If the narrative is super important, and if you really value that historical narrative stuff, then this is your MVP 100% of the time because the narrative around him and the season he's having is so special, and it's going to be remembered. This season will be remembered for forever about how great Cal Raleigh was. And that's totally fine. It's the Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout MVP from a decade ago, right? Cabrera had the first Triple Crown since Yaz, and Trout was clearly the better player, but like Cabrera had that history, and people voted for how memorable the history would be. And that's totally fine. My only knock on Raleigh is that his second half performance has dipped significantly from his first half performance. Like 873 OPS in the second half. That's still phenomenal. That's still absolutely phenomenal. But he hasn't been as good in the second half as he was in the first. He's faded a little bit, and that's totally fine. But I get it. If you like the historical stuff, this is the MVP. But let's not kid ourselves. That's the best player. That's the most valuable player. That's the guy who's had the best year. That's the scariest guy. That's the guy that teams game plan against the most. Right? Nobody's disputing that's the best player in the American League having the best season in the American League. The problem is that the narrative isn't driven around this is a historical season. The narrative is driven around this is one of the greatest runs of consecutive seasons in the history of baseball. This is old hat. He does this every year. This is voter fatigue, right? If it was just based off who was the best player having the best year, that's the best player having the best year. That's the guy who has the historical season that's going to be remembered. His career up to this point and this run that he's on will be remembered. But this season is just kind of old hat. Like I said, it's what he does every year. This is fun. Me personally, I'd vote for this. But if you vote for this, that's totally acceptable, and I totally understand that. That would be my first place vote because I think that the best player having the best year should be the guy that wins the MVP. But if you're somebody that really, really admires and votes on the history and the feeling and everything else, and the great season on top of that, that's totally cool. Why are people getting fired up about this? It's just about perspective. Perspective A, perspective B. There's no right and no wrong, right? Just have fun with it.